In Miami, people told me I was Jesus. And then in Nashville, people told me I was the devil. So I try not to make statements about myself like this anymore. I don't presume to be anybody. I might be all of them. I do have dreams that happen. Sometimes God whispers to me, pretty much all the time. But is it God? Is it my subconscious? Is it my higher self? But it does happen. Nah, that's always been happening. But I'll tell you, one time it clearly really happened, and I was like, oh, this is really real. So I had left Miami because people were bothering me. Really acting crazy. I told you they were calling me Jesus. Really crazy stuff. So I left Miami on foot with nothing but a bag of clothes. I still have some of them and a few other things. And I went to Fort Lauderdale. I got on the train and I went to Fort Lauderdale and I got off the train. And so I went to McDonald's. I had a little bit of money. I went to McDonald's and I got a hamburger and scrolled on TikTok for a while. And I was like, I'm going to go tell the police officer I'm suicidal and he's going to put me in a hospital. And from there, I'm going to go to rehab and then I'm going to go to a sober living and then I'm going to get a job and then I'm going to get an apartment. But right before I got to the police officer, God or whatever whispered in my mind, there's somebody waiting on you. He said, there's a friend there waiting on you. And then when I got in the hospital, maybe the next day I got there, I met Dylan Musselman. Dylan Musselman, he's my friend. And he told me he was a prophet of God. We immediately made good friends because I told him I was the son of the Lord. And at the time, I had a hole in my left hand. And I thought I was having stigmata because my hand had been sweating blood and stuff. And I had been in the hospital for it. And there was a hole in my hand. And, people were calling me Jesus and stuff. And it just made sense to me at the time. I'm not saying that's who I am. But so God said there was somebody waiting there for me, and there was. And but I had already dreamed this and I remembered it. So but it was funny, this wasn't the first time or the last I would meet Dylan. So they let me out, but I didn't even have anywhere to go when they let me out. So I spent the night in the lobby of the hospital. And I got out the next day and went to another McDonald's and sat there, but I didn't have any money for food this time. So I sat there till I started having a panic attack, and I called the police again. And they took me to another hospital. And a few days into it, here comes Dylan again. I'm by the doors, and I'm in the psychiatric unit, and they walk Dylan right in. I'm right there when they walk him in. There we are again together. We're talking about spirituality. We're writing together, prophesying. We're talking about going to the same mental health rehab afterwards. And which really, my problem was really I didn't have any place to live. People have said I've had mental health conditions, psychiatric conditions. People like my family have tried to subscribe all these diagnoses to me, and really my problem is like PTSD and anxiety, mostly from them and being homeless and like people messing with me and stuff. So I leave and I go to the mental health rehab, and then a few weeks later I'm standing by the doors and here walks Dylan Musselman once again. 3 times we met. So God was right. There was a friend waiting for me. And I wish I knew where Dylan Musselman is, but Dylan Musselman's a prophet. And I hope somebody sees this one day and finds him, because I think he's important.